Okay, this is a quick release belt drive sort of system that I've been working on. So here's a wheel stepper comes through here, drives the belt and drives the feeder. Okay. This, now I haven't actually tried printing out with this one. I did try printing out with an earlier iteration. It worked okay, so there's no reason why in a way this shouldn't work okay. But I've done various iterations from the original modification. This is a modification of this belt drive system. I'd like to thank the user who's done that. This also has this dragon motif on. It's quick release, so basically this bolt head hooks in and out of there. It's hard to do this in the camera, make sure looking in the camera. Also that you have this lever so you can slacken off the filament and move it a bit. And everything seems to work okay. But I've done another iteration here, slight iteration. I'll talk about that, and it's to do with this bolt head here. So that's what is known as a part threaded bolt. Let me start off by saying that, so that the teeth won't catch in here. Originally on my first iterations I had a washer on here, but I don't think that's really needed, and the teeth would catch on the washer and it was very hard to slide if you had a completely threaded bolt. So I was using a part threaded bolt, and I was using an Allen head, which are round heads. But what I found is that as I was tightening it, the actual like nut head of the Allen bolt would actually turn in there in this sort of catch part. So I've changed it to a hex one. Now the Allen ones were 4mm diameter, but you can't get 4mm part threaded with a hex head. So I've had to increase it to a 5mm. So this is 5mm part threaded hex headed bolt. That's 45mm long, that bolt. Now what I found up with this seems to work okay if I can put it in straight like this. But remember, this is probably going to be upside down, well, to the user. So it's going to be like that, and it's probably going to be, this clamps on to the printer, this side. It's going to be upside down to a certain extent like that. You can't really see the bolt head. It probably, in my case, it's going to be facing the back, so it's going to be hard to see that nut head. Sorry, bolt head. So it's going to be hard to see that bolt head, and if it's not going in straight, then it's almost like the angles of the bolt head are catching a bit on the edges. See, that's going in there reasonably straight. I'll put it in a bit of an angle. It doesn't go all the way down because it's wider. So this other iteration, I've changed it a bit wider, but also changed the shape. I'm hoping that if the nut head does go in a bit not straight, it's going to catch on this side and it's going to roll round as it goes in. So I'm going to I'll take this apart and put the parts of this onto this one here. Got some ringing on here. Look at this one. This black one does have some slight ringing. It's a bit hard to see for this pneumatic fitting. Now the Bowden tube goes on here. This is a Bowden feed. That's what's there for. Belt drive. release. Okay, so I'll swap the parts over and then we'll see if the bolt head fits here better. Okay, I've swapped the part over. I haven't done all the parts, but this is near enough, and it's not quite as good as what I thought it would be as for rolling, well, almost turning this bolt head round. It does a little bit. I'll do this slowly. See, it goes in. It's certainly, see, if I put it in straight, it's okay. But if it's going in a little bit of an angle, sorry, if it's going in a little bit of an angle, still goes in, and it does turn there a little bit. I'm trying not to turn it. I'm trying not to turn this because that will be faking it. Just a second. So let's try and get it like at an angle. In. So that is a quick release, and I certainly think that is better than it was. I mean, here I thickened this part up on that side, so it's going to be stronger, less wear and tear, so to speak. Yep. So that, as you see, you can open it up. So as I say, it will be this way on my print anyway. And to a certain extent I can feel round here as I'm unhooking it or hooking it on. And as I say, you've got, if you just want to do a small amount of movement, you can slacken off the feed. Sorry, the lighting. Slacken off the feed by pulling on the lever. Obviously this will be fastened to the printer. Right. This print came out quite well, some curvature on here. This is blue PLA. I think this is going to be usable. There's another slight iteration, is that I put a little bit of a chamfer on this hole. This is for this Push Fit Pneumatic fitting to go in. This is where the Bowden tube goes in, and that chamfer should help you cut the threads in, because basically there's no threads printed in this, it's just blank, and you have to almost force this into this hole, and then it will to a certain extent cut its own threads. Show you that on this previous one. Hopefully can we see any, might just see some lines there. It grips very well when you do that, but what I found in this one, which didn't have any chamfer on it, was hard to get it sort of initially cutting into the top here straight. So I'm hoping with a bit of a chamfer on here, just a little bit of a chamfer on that top edge of that hole here, that this will start to go in. Now make sure that you do go in straight all the time. Okay, I've basically put together, just to show you that the filament does sort of feed. Let's go backwards first. So the Bowden tube will go on there. Now there is another iteration I'm going to try to do on this, is that even with this chamfer I put on here, I found it quite difficult, and almost very difficult, to get this to go in here straight, etc, etc, this push fitting. So I'm going to look at getting some threads, basic threads on there. So that feeds, even if I pull on the filament, it will actually grip enough to turn the wheel. I can pull on that lever and that slackens off the filament. I can move the filament without the wheel turning. So it's to get a thread on here. It's the next iteration, I think.